What are you talking about? You have a sensible game, foot-wise.
Yeah, I have a sensible game, foot-wise. No leaks.
You mean your blood, your feet, you're not bleeding?
Your feet don't leak?
Yep, no leaks on these. Nothing.
Well.
Just they're dry and they're...
Of course, Anthony doesn't have headphones, so he
Electric.
doesn't know when he's not talking to the mic anymore today.
I am... Wait, what do you mean? Did I stop talking to the mic?
Kinda.
Oh, boy. You know what's hard with this mic? I think I always get the mic where you have to talk directly in it.
All mics.
Like all mics. That's how microphone works. Also, did you say "oh boy"?
Just that shirt that you're using as a pillow
Yes.
is my show shirt.
Okay.
Stop
Where do you want
tranquilling
me to
it.
go with it?
Put it somewhere else. Put it somewhere that's safe. Actually, take all the clothes you're laying on and put them next to you because there's several pillows that you can use as actual pillows.
What is the deal? Why you got a bed made out of clothes?
I didn't. I had bed clothes on the bed, and then you jumped on the bed to sleep.
Yes, that is...
Yeah, my
Talking
jacket.
to the microphone literally was just 3 feet away from your
Now
mouth.
set up the
What?
pillows in a situation that can make you comfortable.
No, why are you trying to get him to sleep?
I'm not trying
Are
to.
we sound check done?
Yeah, we've been recording for 5 minutes.
All right.
Jesus Christ. He's going to fall asleep.
You're gonna... Maybe.
He's got the blanket inside out. I don't like you in my bed all of a sudden.
No, he's like a fucking muskrat.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Yeah, like a hamster that
This-
shreds up the newspaper.
We got
Yeah.
This is a good bed, man. You got a lot going. Nice.
Not even talking to the microphone.
Anthony, why don't you bring us into episode 68, please?
Episode 68, live here at the Rad Dudecastatorium. We've got the Rad Dudecast with Greg Stone,
Yeah.
Brendan Ayer,
Yep.
and Anthony DeVito. And we're here to answer all your questions.
Yep.
That was pretty good. So again, it's episode 68. You can follow us on Twitter at the Rad Dudecast. What we need from you,
Sorry.
listeners, we need you to subscribe to the podcast. We need you to share the podcast. We need you to definitely follow our Twitter. Interact with us on Twitter.
Yelp us. Give us a good Yelp review.
I don't know if that will be helpful. You can give us a good Yelp review. Of course, you can send us pictures on Snapchat. Greg is
Party time go.
Party Time Go. I'm Mr. Radical. Anthony is Devo for TiVo. You can go on our Twitter at the Rad Dudecast. I'll tweet out all of our individual Twitter handles. But, you got to follow us there. But listen, we're a listener-supported podcast. As you know, we have no sponsors. We have no benefactors. We need you guys.
We have benefactors. We've actually several times been purchased
Katie
equipment.
Mears,
Katie
yeah.
Mears.
Yeah.
And that guy. But he never sent us anything.
Yeah.
But he will one day.
So our
Urge
only-
sends me a Snapchat every 20 minutes. So
Who does?
Yeah, that's true. Urge does send
That's
us
a benefit.
Snapchats. But, the thing is, we need you guys to help. Am I coming in light, Greg? How am I doing on
You're
this?
coming in hot. He's coming in light.
Because now I
hear
feel
you
weird.
Loud and clear.
Anthony's coming in nothing. Because
Well-
I don't know why. He's defeating the physics with his perfect mic check. No, don't blow into the mic.
I thought you said to do a mic check.
No, you don't ever blow into a mic in a mic check.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Who's doing that?
That was Brendan. That was definitely.
Lamaze.
You're looking at him. do it.
Listeners hate that.
They do. Now, of course. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Don't do that.
What?
What? How come?
69 episodes, and we've learned nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Why
We're
was
still eating potato
I'm
chips.
not allowed to yawn?
Not in the mic.
Not into the mic. I mean,
You
you're
don't-
allowed to. It's better if you don't.
You don't even talk into the mic. You just yawn into the mic. You talk into over to the right, but then when you need to yawn, it's perfectly right into the mic.
My.
This is why we gotta get you headphones again.
Yeah, I know, but I need a longer wire. I'd like to be in the bed.
Your wire's perfectly long to get to there. Oh,
No,
as long as
no.
headphone wire.
Headphone
Oh,
wire.
gotcha. Well, I don't like you in the bed, first of all. I'll allow it because I'm not the boss of you, and you can do whatever you want, but your energy level tends to go down, as does anyone's when they're in a comfortable bed wearing a robe
Very
laid up.
Very comfortable bed. Well, I'm up. I'm into this thing.
Okay.
I've been really
Now,
in it.
we do owe you guys an apology, of course.
Do we?
Again,
Thank you, Brendan.
we missed an episode last week, and here's the thing. The key to a successful podcast, obviously, is consistency, and we're doing the best we can, but the three of us are at a place in our career where we're on the brink of quite a bit of success. Our schedules are up in the air. We still have to work limited other types of jobs from time to time, which makes scheduling difficult. and we
Yes.
do our best to attempt to get you a podcast every week. And sometimes we miss. Of course, I was in Iowa. Anthony was in Boston. Greg was all over the place. It's just tough to get together. But here's the thing. Would you rather a consistent but mediocre podcast or a podcast such as the Rad Dudecast, which occasionally misses a week, that's the best podcast that has ever graced the presence of your mortal fucking ears?
I'm going to go with B.
And you are right, sir. You
Well,
are right.
You know, A sounds pretty good.
B. A. What about C? Come to the Rad Dudecast and pay me some money. My Rad Dude, I have the God Podcast Network. Guys have a podcast network.
Yes, of course, Greg has established what he's referring to as a podcast network. It's actually a podcast recording studio. He's got no network. He has, again, repeat, we are not on a network, nor does Greg have
Well, I
a
didn't
network.
invite the Rad Dudes to the network yet.
Oh, actually, I have big news.
Okay, well, let
me
Greg
finish my
his
Rad Dude
news.
thing. So if you want to do a podcast, you come over, you give me an exorbitant amount of money, and then I record your podcast, probably the same amount of money you could have bought the equipment with. But it's under my own professional,
Yeah.
my audio engineering eye, so I really keep a good eye on it.
Yeah.
And you guys know how good I am with audio engineering.
Well, I think you're great for a guy who's sort of an amateur at it. But let's
I don't. In fact,
let's
find that insulting.
well, I'm just saying you're self-taught. You have all the equipment. I think we do a great job. I'm just saying if I were looking to, well, let's just hope they haven't listened to our podcast. The people who are paying. So, in other words, contact Greg on Twitter. Greg Stone
You have to
_
live within a mile of
Yeah,
here.
if you live in the Astoria, Queens, or anywhere in the greater New York
$20.
metropolitan area, you can come over, record your podcast. Greg will do all the audio on that for $20, somewhere around there, maybe a little more if you've got it. But so Greg has started a podcast studio.
That's what I find
Anthony
out.
also claims, and emphasis on claims, to have some big news that he'd like to reveal. Let's go ahead and indulge this.
What are you doing? Why are
When
you
I'm getting
moving
up.
around like a fox?
Getting up.
Let's indulge this steaming pile.
I'm gonna have to. You're
of
messing
cat
with
vomit.
my whole. That is a duvet.
We are on NBC.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to redo the whole
NBC's
duvet.
podcast network.
You're
I got
shoving
us
it
on
all.
NBC's podcast
You're shoving all the one blanket in the
That
duvet
may
around.
be true about the bed situation, but it still stands that I got us on NBC's podcast network.
No, I have a podcast network. That is my direct competition.
Well, then what was I doing in a meeting Monday morning with some of the biggest wigs that I've ever heard of?
Betraying me. That's what you were doing. You were betraying my
One-
network.
No, I was helping us. I was wanting to launch us onto a higher plateau. We are now under the umbrella of NBC National Broadcast Channel, Channel 4.
Nice. Now, I also have big news that
Okay.
I'd like to announce. So Greg announced big news. Anthony announced big news. My big news is that Greg does not have a podcast network. He
Yes,
has
I do.
He has a podcast recording
Wow.
studio. Anthony has not met with NBC regarding our podcast.
Les Moonvest.
We are not on the NBC podcast network.
He wasn't there.
So don't look for us if NBC even has a podcast network. Don't look.
I
for
do
us
have
there.
one.
Well,
Explain what a network is, and I'll explain why mine is a network.
then I guess you do my thing
Well,
too.
a podcast.
Your thing is fake. My thing is real. I have a real podcast
a
network.
podcast network
real.
would be the likes of
No, get that hat off your head. Get it off your head. You're going to stretch it. You have a big-ass head.
the Stand Up New York
I do that now.
labs. Where it's a conglomerate. It's basically a radio station for podcasts. So
I do that now.
for us.
Well, not for us yet. I was going to have to talk to you off the air. But I pay this fee now to have unlimited hosting, so I can host our thing now.
You do?
Yeah. With one podcast, it pays for the monthly fee. So I was going to try to put us all on one thing.
Well, I'm already on a thing.
Do
I
you pay
already
unlimited?
Yeah.
You get unlimited?
I don't know if I get unlimited, but we got a thing going. That's also not a network, what you're describing. That's hosting.
Yeah, hosting.
Yeah.
So what's a network?
A network is the outward facing, public facing,
Yeah.
where you can, you go to a website. Don't touch your feet to my leg.
Sorry,
Because
I
I know you claim they're not leaking, but I don't trust
Yeah.
anyone's feet in this apartment.
I've never seen a toenail so
Yeah.
sharp.
No.
Yeah, but we are promoting each other's podcasts. But I only have one podcast on the network right now. So
what podcast? Don't touch
I
my.
keep thinking that it's the chair.
I know,
you're
but I
like,
keep thinking that it's
I'm gonna-
not the chair.
well, let me move over.
What
Anthony,
what
it's
podcast
moving
are you
to the
talking
right.
about? Go ahead and promote it right now.
the first joke book with Oni Perez and Patrick Schroeder.
Oh, so you're putting that out for them also?
Yeah, they come. I record it, I edit it, and I put it out. But it's not out yet. We're gonna do 5 before we put them all out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was thinking we'd do this whole thing and really turn it into we all support each other and push each other's podcasts and make a real punk rock podcast station.
Okay, cool. I could get behind that.
Right?
What we need to bring on board, in all honesty, if we're gonna do a podcast network, we do need a guy. We need a computer guy, because I know a little bit, you know a little bit, but if we're gonna really make this happen, a thing, we're gonna need somebody who can do this for us. So if there's somebody out there,
I have good news and bad news for you though.
yeah,
I know how to do it. I'm good. I edited his podcast.
that's different. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean a computer guy?
We need a guy who can make a website for our podcast network where all the podcasts live, with the direct links to iTunes, all that shit.
That I don't know. I know how to do Tumblr though. I'll do a Tumblr. I'll figure it out.
No, we're
I'm
gonna
pretty
get.
smart.
Well, let's just see if there's a listener.
I don't have any money to
I think
pay anybody.
We'll see.
Oh, all right. So
I just if there's a listener listening and wants to help us set up a podcast network. So far, we have 2 podcasts on it. We don't know what we're doing. Also, we could use an intern
you better take my glasses off.
in charge of promoting the Rad Dudecast, because obviously, we do okay listener-wise, and we get our feedback is phenomenal. People think it's the best thing
Can
they've
you
ever
tell me to
listened
take
to.
my glasses off first?
Take Greg's glasses off.
Thanks. All right, so back to getting an intern. We should have an application form.
Well, I don't know if that's fine, but I would just think anyone who wants to be our
Intern?
contacts us on Twitter.
They got to fill out a form. I'll send them a form. I'll make a form.
Okay, so you make the form. In the meantime, contact us on Twitter. You may, but keep in mind, you may be asked to fill out a form.
Yeah, and I don't mind if you don't fill it out, but I'm sending it to you. Let me see. I'm trying to get some Twitter questions. I tweeted to who wants to tweet us. If you're out there, tweet us a question. We're going to answer it today.
Now, NBC's podcast network, it hasn't been launched yet. We're the first podcast on the network. That's what I was meeting with them about.
And you did not think to mention to me
I
or
wanted
Greg.
it to be a surprise.
Oh, no.
What?
Rad Dudecast fans responded.
Oh, God, what did he say? That, of course, run by Woo Woo.
Oh, God. The Rad
Stephen
Dudecast,
Wu.
where Grog be at? Fixing sound and shit? Because I tweeted a picture.
Cool.
So they
no.
want, the deal is unlimited sound,
Talking time?
unlimited talking time, but doesn't look good revenue-wise for us.
What do you mean? Why?
They're not going to pay us.
So what are they going to do?
But they just put us on their network, and then we get to go to their parties. They'll have like a Christmas party. I guess they have a holiday party, they call it, every winter. So we'll get to go to that.
So you're just saying, which is probably not even that far-fetched, an idea that we would be on a podcast network, they wouldn't pay us, they
Yeah.
would just take care of our fees.
Yep, they take
So
care of
your
all the fees.
cockamamie story is legitimately just one of, which is probably just a normal deal.
Yeah, but it's pretty
Start-off
exciting. It's
deal.
NBC. You know, that's a good channel.
No, it's
So we're on there, and we can go to these holiday parties, and then we get free
we can't have you
free
at a holiday
DVDs.
party.
They're gonna send us free DVDs of all the shows that got canceled throughout the years.
Like
All the Will and Grace that we
Selfie
want.
got canceled.
Selfie. Yeah, but that was
I
ABC.
But how do you feel about that?
I don't feel good. That was a good show.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Please go, if you're listening to this, go on our Twitter at the Rad Dudecast. Greg has just tweeted a picture of me and Anthony, and I need you to see what Anthony is wearing and where he's located. And this is how we podcast. You're not going to get this from other podcasts. He's just up for utmost level of comfort. Got his favorite teal Hawaii sweatshirt on, his old man's robe, lying in a bed, loving it. I don't know. This is great times. Now, here's the thing. Let's try and, if we could try and trace this back, your need to lie to me and Greg.
Oh, wow. We're going to get in.
Okay? Let's see, Because I don't know, Greg. Do you think he was in a meeting with?
No.
No. I don't think you were in a meeting with NBC, and I don't blame you because I think you may believe that you were. And
Yeah.
what I really want to delve in. I don't know if you know this. Me and Greg have been taking some training in psychoanalysis.
Yep.
Psychoanalysis as
Yeah.
well, but that's my own thing.
That's his own thing. Greg has been
Like
doing more of a
stuff.
psychoanalysis. He's doing a dual degree, psychoanalysis and psychoanalysis. So if you
For the
again, if you have
enterprise.
any question about bikes, tweet that at Greg. But
Show hat.
now we're taking the classic Sigmund Freud model
Yeah.
of psychoanalysis. Now, what's your earliest memory?
Oh man, I was washing up in the tub.
You made that up. That wasn't. I saw his eyes.
Maybe it was.
Maybe. Yeah. Let's add. What was honestly your first memory?
Yeah.
Well,
Anthony
I was
DeVito.
washing up in the tub.
Well, now
I
you
was
just
playing
said
with
it
my
more
G.I. Joes.
confidently because you. Yeah, see, this is a classic, Anthony. He'll lie, his eyes turn, his body changes. Then you ask him again, and he goes, "Oh wait, I can land this one."
Yeah.
He tries to tell you the same one in a more serious, and
Washing
he
up.
somehow managed to lay back on my
Ah,
folded
washing
clothes
up
and
in the
jacket.
Tub. Scrub a dub dub. Sometimes I'd put all the soap on the walls, and then I'd rub my body against the wall.
That's not true.
That is true.
Wait.
That's the way I would
Okay,
clean
so
myself.
this is a good, as Dr. Freud would say. I think we are
Can
onto
you guys
something.
talk in German voices?
No, I think we are onto something here. You would wash yourself, Greg, and I think you skipped right over this premium tidbit of information.
It's true.
You would wash yourself by soaping up the wall
I'd soap up the whole wall.
and then rub your body against the wall.
Yep.
At what age was this?
I don't know. Early on, maybe that's my first memory.
That's not his first memory.
Why
That's not a
not?
thing he ever
Why
did.
wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be? Because it never happened.
That did happen, by the way. That did happen.
Swear
on an everyday basis.
Swear to God.
Swear to God.
No, wait. No, you swear on our friendship that's the first memory you have.
Swear in our friendship.
The first memory you have is putting soap on the wall and rubbing your body against it to soap up.
Yeah.
Where was
Swear-
your mother?
What?
Where was your mother at this point?
She was in the other room. She wasn't in the room. It was I was taking a bath.
Your mom. So your first bath, your mom just said, "Go in the bath and figure it out. Don't drown."
Probably, I don't know.
Well, this was his first bath he remembered.
If you don't know, then you don't remember.
Well, I don't know. It's the first thing I can remember.
No, I can, like, my first memory is very vague, you know? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
all the details. My first memory, I
But
was
that's
in,
not his first memory.
I don't
Diapers.
even know
Didn't
how
happen.
you guys know your first memory.
Well,
You
I
think
know
it was the earliest thing you could
the
remember?
earliest thing I can
Well, I
remember, I
think
was
that
in
might have been.
diapers at some sort of farm. And I've
Yeah.
traced it back. I think, according to my mother, she thinks it was someone's birthday party. But I was at, like, a farm.
Yeah, I had a cow udder in my mouth. I remember I was at some same thing, farm. And I tried to put a cow udder in my mouth. And then Tom Green got famous on that, and I was like, that's my bit.
Man, I don't know. One time I climbed on my mom in the mall. We were walking around. She used to wear this sweatshirt. It was like an aqua, like color like this sweatshirt.
You should
Teal.
write a book. You should write a book with all of this boring shit that you talk about. Just 9 pages of just like, yeah, there was tiles on the ground or something. I don't know. It couldn't have been non-tiles because my feet were touching it because I had sneakers on. That's what I would love to read. I'd love to. Every chapter is just. I was walking down the street and there's the sky. How could it not be there? It's always there. What is science? That's you.
That's you.
No.
Now, as we progress in our psychoanalysis, what was the first lie you remember telling?
I don't know.
I hate to correct you here, but I think with this case, it's not a normal case.
Yeah.
So let's just go on and say, what's the first thing you think you ever told that was the truth? Because I would imagine you came out of the fucking womb just spewing bullshit.
Spewing lies.
I bet the first time you cried, you'd have smirk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't really mean it.
I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff.
What's the biggest lie you ever told? I mean, that's a noise
Probably.
that you don't know you're making on the microphone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or a pretty big lie.
That's a pretty big lie. You know, I'd tell people I had a book deal.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Who'd you tell you had a book deal?
I would like a book deal, so I would tell people I had a book deal.
Did you tell Cassie that
Yeah, years ago.
when they first started dating?
Yeah, I didn't think that we would keep dating, so I thought that'd be okay to say.
I mean,
No
you weren't
harm, no
even
foul.
you weren't even a comedian back then.
No,
So
what
what
I would
was your-
write from time to time.
What was your book deal based on?
My mom knew an author. So I would like for that to happen, so I thought, yeah, well, that'll happen.
Well,
My mom always said, if you want something, you say it out loud.
Make it true.
Make it true.
Be the truth. So what was the book? You don't want to give us any information about this book deal?
No, it was a pretty standard book deal, Penguin Publishing.
I think I hate Anthony now.
What?
well, here's the thing.
Why you guys
In
answering
our
questions?
study of psychoanalysis, the one thing that they've really nailed into us as we've researched and studied psychoanalysis is don't be afraid to drop a patient. If you go
Yeah.
into a patient's brain and start realizing it's a gobbledygook mess
Yeah.
of just discarded
Lemon drops.
rusty tin cans and lemon drops, move on, because you're not going to get anywhere with a man who doesn't want to help himself.
What about the psychoanalyst?
That's just how fast I can ride a bike.
Yeah,
Oh, that
and that's
dope,
going
actually.
great.
Yeah, about
Oh,
6
that's
miles
good.
an hour.
That's excellent. I'm glad I can be a help for you guys.
No, we were
should
attempting
have
to
some
help you.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm glad either way.
Let's get in. Let's ask more questions to each other.
Yes.
Find out the
Okay.
real truths.
Okay.
I do like that getting into Anthony's as we learn nothing.
I thought we learned some stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
My mom had a sweatshirt.
well, I think, if I can be honest, I think I think we did actually discover the root, which is you did mention sort of as a aside that your mom always told you if you want something, say it out loud,
Mm-hmm.
and you sort of misinterpreted that to mean just lie
Lie.
and say whatever you would like.
Yeah, I'd like $1 million. I have $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have $1 million?
See?
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
Now, what's the biggest lie you've ever told, Greg?
Oh man, do you know yours? Tell yours because I'll think about mine because I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, now
'Cause I lied a lot.
I can do analysis.
Oh, my classic lie.
I haven't been doing studies, but
This isn't the biggest lie. No reversing. No putting your feet on my pillows.
okay, all right, Greg. Like a slave ship, you run this.
A slave ship. It's a bed, and you put your leaky feet.
They don't leak. I've been over this before. Now they don't leak.
You have no concept of what conditions were like on a slave ship.
Maybe I don't.
Yeah. Also, you can just go back to where you were comfortable when you were leaning
yeah, I know,
against
but
it.
I want to really be in this because if I'm going to be doing analysis, I need to
Sure.
be alert.
Well, I do know probably the most embarrassing lie I ever told.
Okay.
I don't know why, because it's not a big lie,
Mm-hmm.
but I just remember being humiliated.
Mm-hmm.
In college, I was with two guys that were on the baseball team and some girls, and we were driving around the car. For some reason, I told these guys on the baseball team that I could throw 85 miles per hour, and the one guy
It's
was
really fast.
And the one guy was just like, "No, you can't." And it was just like humiliating because then I had to like stick with it. Like, yeah, I can. I can throw 85 miles an hour. And the guy was just like, "No, you can't."
How fast do you think he could throw?
Probably not 85, but I certainly.
60?
No, he was a baseball player. He could probably throw 70. I could probably throw 65, maybe in my prime. Probably not even.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just thought that I could get away with telling these baseball players who know how fast 85 miles an hour is that I could just throw 85 miles an hour. It was very embarrassing.
And they got you?
They didn't even get me. They just immediately were like, "No, you can't."
That move, though, of just being like, yeah, I know that I'm lying is always fun. As you get as a confident liar, it's like, yeah, you don't believe me, but I was only joking.
Well, that's what I should have done. And that's not a big lie. It's just one that stuck with me. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
what was I thinking?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
to be gained from that?
Oh, you know the biggest lie I ever told. I don't know if the area of I don't know if the was it so I can't get sued? Can I tell that? You know what's that called? When you can't get sued anymore because the time has passed?
It's a time amendment.
No,
Nope.
time of enemy. That's something that goes in the sea.
The
Statute
statute
of
limitations.
Ah, nice.
Should I tell this one? You know this one. This is a classic. This is the one that. All right. So I went snowboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Landed on my tailbone. Hurt myself. Went to work the next day, and I couldn't really walk because I was hurting so much. And I just went in the back room, and I told them, I was like, I fell off a ladder, and I hurt my tailbone. And they were like, well, you need to go. I was like, I just want to go home. And they're like, no, you got to go to the hospital. You can't. And I was like, you have to fill out an incident report. It's your whole thing. I was like, I don't want to do all this. I just want to go home, so I can't really walk, and I need an excuse. Maybe fill out an incident report. They take me to the emergency room. Go to the emergency room. turns out I had fractured my tailbone and ruptured a pilonidal cyst. Had to have surgery. The store I was working for paid for everything because they thought it happened on their dime. I got 6 to 8 weeks off, all paid, and it was all a lie.
It's fine.
That's fine, you know.
Yeah.
That's fine because they got a lot of money, corporation.
Yeah, I didn't have any money.
You know, that's good.
I
That's
had to wear a
good one.
donut pillow to school because they put a donut on your butt.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
No, it broke, and I couldn't sit in it, and I had to just not go to school. That's why I owe all this money to this day because I had to drop out of school. I think. I don't know if that's true.
That's a fine lie, you know. I think it is.
Sometimes I just don't know the truth, so I just say anything, and then I just make that the truth.
Yeah. No, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, lots of times I would just lie because it was fun, you know. If it wasn't harmful, it was just fun. Well, I was bored. What do I got to do? Make up a lie. That's fun.
Yeah.
Lie about the weather.
Let me see if I got any questions here. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Let me
That's
see if
what
I
my
got
friend Darren, he would always do that. He'd lie about the weather. He got a real big kick out of that.
any lie about the weather.
Yeah, you'd be like, is it
Just
gonna be
immediately,
cold out?
then
And
you
he'd be
immediately
like,
find
oh,
out.
yeah, it's cold out. And then you
Please
go
get your
outside,
feet-
And you'd be like,
Come on, man.
it's hot.
that's
It's hot out.
gross.
And then you'd be like, yeah, it's just lying.
This guy sounds like a psychopath, this Darren.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, time will tell, you know. You follow
Time
the
has
papers.
told.
Yeah, well, he hasn't killed anyone yet.
No, he's fine.
Darren's the best.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
So we got to come up with something to do. We got 30 minutes left. I feel like you guys are losing energy.
Well, we didn't plan today. That'll happen sometimes on the Rad Dudecast. That's why the people love this podcast. Sometimes you get a low energy, sometimes you get high energy, sometimes you get off the wall craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I would like to talk about, of course, goes without saying.
The Bill Cosby?
No, I don't care for that. It's
Me
like,
neither.
yeah, fucking guy's a piece of shit.
Okay, can I guess? I want to guess what you want to talk about before you say it.
Okay.
Feminism in today?
No.
Or technology on the rise?
I am done with technology. I think technology, that ship has sailed. Enough already. Get rid of it.
What do you think technology is going to be
So
like?
what do you got going?
Wait, I'm talking.
Okay.
Because what was your question you were interrupting me with? What do you got going? I was at a great question, and you said, this is more important. What do you got going? 1,000 years from now, where do you think technology is?
Oh, I don't see the human race surviving 1,000 years.
Anthony said the same thing when I asked him last
That's
night.
what I was talking about last
yeah,
night.
no, because here's the thing about that. You know, we've developed these weapons
Mhm.
that we now have weapons capable of destroying the human race. Bombs that are capable of destroying the human race. As technology progresses, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier to make those weapons,
Mhm.
and those weapons become exponentially more dangerous. So the idea that these weapons could exist and some madmen won't get a hold of one and detonate it over an infinite amount of time is ludicrous to me.
Mhm.
So there's going to come a time when somebody who shouldn't have a nuclear weapon gets a nuclear weapon and they use it. And I think 1,000-year timeline on that is more than enough time for that to go down. You know what I mean? Nuclear weapons have been around now for 60 years,
Mhm.
65 years,
Mhm.
maybe almost 70 years. And they've already progressed to, we have we have nuclear bombs, something like 10,000 times the power of the ones we dropped on Hiroshima. And they're getting easier and easier to make. They're getting easier and easier to get your hands on that technology. And that's just been 70 years.
Yeah,
so
but you're ruling out a few things. One, evolution of man, empathy. Maybe people change over the course of the next 200. Also, the course of, the same time, humans have also evolved with, they're becoming more, not civilized because there still are animals, but we've become more, less, war's always been around. But also time travel. So, maybe someone will go back in time and erase all these things.
yeah, I don't think time travel will ever exist.
Anthony's asleep.
I'm listening.
I don't think time travel will ever exist. I don't think it's possible.
Well, that's why you're writing yourself in a corner.
Why? Why? Because if time travel existed, then someone would have came back already.
See, that's what you think. That's because you're thinking on the timeline that we're on right now. I think that we just haven't reached a point. I believe timelines work like this. We haven't reached the point of time travel, and then once it happens, then they'll go back, and then now that's a different timeline. Now that's a different. We'll never see timeline because the future hasn't hit. The future hasn't hit yet.
Yeah, but if they come back, they're coming back to a different timeline?
As soon as you travel with time,
It's a split?
it's a split. There's a split, and now this never happened because you've eventually changed everything. So now we're only experiencing it because future hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but the concept of time travel is you're going back in time, so they would be going back to before this ever happened. So the split would have already taken place.
Yeah, but we'll never see it because in our timeline there is no time travel.
Huh.
Unless we invent it here. I also think that if you go back in time, I have this plan that time travel is going to happen. Here's why you can't let people know. We would know. If we knew that time travel existed, then it would destroy everything. So if you are going to go back in trouble, you got to go secretly. You got to go secret. People can't know. You can't allow the people to know, or else,
Sure, but you'd have the infinitely forward in time. You'd have people able to come back. So at some point, some lunatic is going to come back and tell people.
Sure,
and fuck things up.
Maybe our government knows about those people, but they're saying we can't let people know, so they put the kibosh on it.
Well, I still think the nuclear thing's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it probably is too.
Because all it takes is, I agree with you, for the most part, people aren't going to, most people don't want to destroy the world, but all it takes is one
guy.
rogue terrorist group who just wants to watch the world burn.
Mm. So what were you going to say?
About
I was
what?
going to guess your topic. I know I didn't guess it.
Oh, of course, I was going to talk about that. I didn't have anything.
Mm. How about you?
Yeah, the wind. The wind's going to get too strong. It's going to blow us off the earth.
Yeah, we talked about this last night.
Yep. That's what I thought for 1,000 years. We're going to be wiped out because the winds will get too strong and blow us right off.
The wind is going to blow us off Earth. He has no idea that the fact that wind isn't coming from outer space. Wind is on Earth, and it pushes you around the Earth. He thinks it's going to be one swipe off the top, and it's going to blow us into space. And it's only going to blow 1%. It's only going to blow that part of the Earth off, the top.
Yeah, but the Earth is, a sphere, so it'll keep rotating.
Of all the developments
everybody.
and changes over history,
Mm-hmm.
I think the wind has stayed pretty much. It's interesting that that's what you think will change, because the wind seems to have been consistently about the same speed throughout.
Sure. I mean, if I could interject, not according to the latest wind index. No.
Windex.
Yes.
The thing you clean your windows with.
Windex.
The Windex.
Wind index.
Yeah.
Yes. The wind from Greek times, has gone up 1,000%.
Well, even if the wind were to go up in this crazy world you've invented, and I suppose the wind getting too strong could ruin the Earth.
Absolutely.
But I do not think the result would be all of us getting blown into outer space. I think the result would probably be tsunamis, maybe a loss of vegetation and no way for us to regenerate oxygen. But to blow us into outer space, the wind seems to run parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
It just blows around the Earth. I don't think it's blowing you up into space.
Plus, we're going to build these.
Also, here's another thing you got to factor in. Is that people all across the planet are losing weight because obesity is a major problem.
And it's on the rise, so people are gaining weight.
They're gaining weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually people are going to get fed up with that because too many family members are dying because of diabetes and stuff like that.
Sure.
So the thing is people are going to start losing weight by an exponential rate. And the wind is just going to be easier to lift you off the ground. That's what it's happening.
And throw you into space. But that's why we're going to build these lead suits. These are you talked about last night.
Yeah,
lead
but
suits.
the problem are their bodies will get lead poisoning. That's why the whole thing, we just don't, as of right now, maybe in the years to come we can figure out a better system, but as of right now, the way things are headed with the wind index in correspondence to what we have technology-wise to withstand these future winds, impossible.
Go ahead.
I just want to know what tiny 1/millionth, 0.0000001 of a truth came into your head that you developed this idea. I want to know where
I had to dream
this...
about it.
Really?
Yeah.
The wind blew people off the earth.
Yes.
All right.
What it doesn't concern me that he says these things on the podcast
Mm-hmm.
because this is I understand that
The goofball cast.
it's an entertaining we say things. What concerns me is that he tells you these things off air. You know,
night.
that's where I start to worry when you say, yes, this is what he was telling me last night. In the comfort of our home, just two friends chatting, he told me that he thinks the wind is going to blow everyone into outer space. That's where I get concerned for his well-being.
Well, let me say this, and I hate to shameless promote our other show. We have a new show we developed last night called Tub Talk, where we sit on the bathtub and we interview hot topics. So that came up last night in one of our Tub Talks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we did that last night at 3 a.m. You got to watch it and let us know if it's worth anything, because I think we were just too high.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty good idea.
Please don't smash the microphone into your glasses because it makes another noise.
Okay. That's something. Now,
65 episodes, and you should have a checklist of all the things I've told you.
Well, to be fair, Brendan's told me things too, so that's
2 checklists.
You know, that's a lot to look at.
That is a lot. That's a lot.
You know?
Tub Talk is going to be hot, though, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a good one. I don't know. You know, they landed this comet. What's up with this comet?
Oh, yeah, the comet. What do you think about that?
You could care less about comets.
Yeah.
Really?
They do nothing for me. Is there a comet coming to get us?
No, we landed on a
Turn
comet.
me on.
Oh, asteroid. We landed on an asteroid.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any
What's the
difference?
difference? I think there is.
A
There
ca-
is. Someone
They're
told me.
different words.
I think an asteroid is just a rock. A comet, I think, might be some sort of shooting
Comet is the one that's...
debris or shooting like a blown up star or something. But we landed on an asteroid. Maybe it is the same as a comet.
Well, how
I think
far is
that's
this
interesting.
asteroid?
Pretty far away.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because in my head, my mind just goes to space. Like, of course we have that technology. It's like, no, wait, we haven't done that before. This is not science fiction.
Yeah, it's moving. Well, I mean, everything's moving. But
Space,
it's moving at a very accelerated rate.
everything gets fucked up in space, though.
Yeah.
Do you see what happened to it?
Space?
No, the thing that parked on the asteroid?
No.
I parked in a shadow. Everything was run by solar power. Accidentally parked in a shadow, so the thing's shut down.
Oh, the humans. There was no humans on there.
No, there's no humans. They just sent up a little fucking robot, parked the goddamn thing in a shadow.
That's hilarious.
They needed the sunlight. Well, shut her down.
Shut her down. You got 5 hours.
Shut that $6 billion or whatever it costs. Forget it.
Yeah, I think you're right about that nuclear thing with we've had it for this long. Why wouldn't it? Yeah, that's a depressing thought, right?
It is a depressing
I
thought,
know.
but it's like if you stretch
Yeah.
time out, it's like
I
it's
know.
almost inevitable that someone
We're gonna
will
destroy
get their
ourselves,
hands
yeah.
on it. You know, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but maybe not. Maybe I'm underestimating
The good
humans,
good
the
world.
goodness of humans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I'm sick of these ISIS fellas. They cut off another guy's head.
I know.
That's crazy. That's another topic we talked
It's
about
like,
yesterday.
stop fucking. Don't cut people's heads off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just cut it out.
Why are they doing it?
Well, they're doing it obviously to draw attention to their cause, which they believe is a
Do a fundraiser.
good cause. Yeah, it's like you can't just be cutting people's heads off.
No. I agree. I don't like ISIS.
I hate ISIS.
Yeah, me too. I'm against them.
Are you?
Yeah, I
That
am.
seemed
Of
very
course I am.
convincing.
I don't know a lot about them, but I.
Oh, so you mean you could still be sold?
No, not at all. Look, okay. Now I'm not going to rule anything out, but no, I don't think I could be sold from what I'm sort of seeing and hearing about that they're doing. I'm not for it. So I don't think so. I don't know. It's going to be really
You
hard
don't
to
think so?
change my mind about this.
Yeah, but there's a percentage. There's a percentage that you're not 100% in a non-ISIS
No,
group.
I'm not in because you can't be. I don't want to be a part of any organization that cuts people's heads off. I wouldn't be happy to be a part of an organization that shoves people, let alone cut people's heads off. Give me a
Yeah.
break.
Yeah, shoving organizations. You got to watch out for them. Now, another question I'd like to run by you guys. So we've talked about the bad things, the terrible things that might end. What are some of the great progressions you see happening before humanity goes out? Any big developments you see on the timeline? Because I don't think If you ask me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what the last great revolutionary technology was. I guess it would be the internet, but to me, the internet has mostly made things worse.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen to human race in 1,000 years. And you may say it's negative or positive. I don't know, but I'll tell you. What is going to happen eventually is we're getting so into technology that we are eventually become one with our technology. And I don't mean like the robots against us. I mean, we're going to become one. Almost like the Matrix. We're going to be plugging in. And then all of a sudden, we're not moving. Everyone is talking through internet space, through computer technology.
Right,
Everyone is now talking to each other. Everyone is in these little cell things. So then no one can physically. So we can't do the nuclear thing because the government is going to be shutting down our programs, being like, oh, so we're all living in this internet space, and so you have no real control. You can't kill everyone because you're in a jar, and your brain is seeing people at the mall. The mall is self-contrived. It's a program written to keep us docile. So I see in 1,000 years, we're just humans plugged into things.
Yeah.
I don't think that's entirely far-fetched. I think I would agree with that. It's going to be a problem for people like Anthony because you're just going to say, it's no longer going to be fun. You're just going to say, like, oh, this guy has a glitch.
Yeah.
This guy...
Wipe him.
Yeah, what does he do? The wind index? Get this guy cleaned out.
Yeah.
He's got a virus.
Yeah.
This guy's got a virus. He's got some malware. Put in some Norton antivirus in this guy's foot.
Yeah.
You
See,
know.
because as much as we are getting closer to nuclear people doing nuclear things, we have government agencies that don't want that to happen, so they will take over control however they can.
Yeah.
So they're not going to allow that to happen because they'll take our freedoms away.
Right.
Yeah, I think the food will get better.
Yeah, because you're not tasting it. It's just you hit the right things.
Yeah, but food seems to get better over the
That
years.
is true.
You know?
But, interestingly, better tasting, worse for you. Certainly
That's true.
food has decreased in, they put all the chemicals, preservatives, GMOs, all of that stuff, genetically modified, whatever. It's not good for us.
You saw the guy invented Soylent Green? Do you hear about this?
Soylent.
Soylent it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Just a pill that you take, and it's got all your nutrients. You don't eat anymore.
No, it's a shake.
Oh, it's a shake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you told me about it.
Yeah.
So you don't want to tell any more? You just want to say yeah and not continue.
What? No, I was letting you talk.
I don't remember anything else because I thought it was a pill.
Oh, well,
It's a shake, right?
Yeah, this guy basically is boiled down food into just its essential nutrients that you need. So it's like it doesn't taste like anything, or it may have the consistency of oatmeal, and it just gives you all your nutrients. No taste, no eating, no chewing. You drink this for the day, and you get everything you need. It's a very efficient way of getting your nutrients.
I have to apologize. I was a little distracted because I'm just realizing, for a little guy like you, giant elf feet.
I know. I got big old flappers.
It
What
looks like a
size
hobbit.
are those?
10.5.
10.5.
What are you rocking?
10.
10.
Yeah.
He's got a bigger foot than you. You got about a foot of height on him.
I'm at least 2 feet taller than him.
Probably.
What size do you wear?
4'5".
11 and a half.
Man, the great size foot.
Yeah, but I'm fat. I gotta need a big one.
I don't think you're fat.
10 is the perfect size. That's what they even have the display models. I think are 10.
I think sometimes they're 9.5.
Oh yeah, it's a little guy.
Yeah.
That's a little
Yeah.
nori foot. All right,
Is that it?
we got 2 minutes.
I'm gonna. For myself, I'm done.
You just step out.
Yeah.
You want to step out too, or do you want anything to say? I'll
Yeah, right out of here. Do
Actually,
we have
I
any
have
shows to plug.
do.
Can
have
I say something while you're looking through that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Again, please follow us on Twitter at the Rad Dudecast. Share the podcast. Comment on iTunes. That helps our algorithm, of course. Do everything you can for us. We really appreciate you listening. Follow me on Twitter, Brendan C. Ayer. Follow Greg Stone _ Follow Anthony DeVito, Anthony DeVito _, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Follow us all on Twitter, and share the podcast. We really appreciate it. Subscribe.
Tonight, Friday, I'll be at Eastville Comedy Club. Tomorrow, I'll be, some shitty club. I'm not gonna tell you about that one. Sunday, I'll be at Tierney's performing with my dad.
Oh,
fun.
cool. Where's Tierney's? In New Jersey?
Yeah, Montclair, New Jersey.
So that's going to be Sunday the
23rd.
23rd. Tierney's in Montclair, New Jersey. You might not get it up in time to get that Friday plug in, but certainly check out Greg Sunday,
Yeah.
November 23rd at Tierney's
And,
in New Jersey.
Tuesday, I'll be in New Haven at somebody's house with Chris Gethard.
Oh, that'll be great.
I don't know how to get you in that. 27th is Thanksgiving. Enjoy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
All right.
Anthony, plugs?
No, I'll be stand up New York 10:30 Tuesday night, and then I'm at Thanksgiving with my family.
Usually I like to cut it off early. This time, I'm just going to let it ride.
Nice.
What are you guys doing later?
I put my mic down.
All right.
I put my mic down. Turn it off. Greg.